Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year, and welcome into yet another very exciting edition of Cory Comments On. I'm your host, Cory McKnight. You can join me every Friday at 6 p.m. right here on All WNY Radio. If you don't know, now you know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the new year. It's Friday, January 4th, 2019, and it is National Trivia Day out there, so feel free to get your Jeopardy on tonight, watching the television there. Feel free to get the Trivial Pursuit going, maybe with the family. Have a little family game night. It's Friday. You know, it's a good night for it. Get drunk with the kids, play Trivial Pursuit, or whatever. I like trivia, so I think this is a cool national day here. I'm a trivia buff myself, so I am actually going to take this time to issue a challenge to my listeners here, which is like one or two people. And I want you to face me in a game of Trivia Crack, the mobile game in the App Store there, because I'll beat you. I'll beat you senseless. I will win. I guarantee it. Hit me up on Twitter, at AllWNYCory. We'll set up a game of Trivia Crack, and I will send you crying home to your mammy. I guarantee it. Anyways, enough trivia. Even though it is a new year, of course, it's still the same me. Same old Cory Comments On. Same old Cory McKnight. I don't really get down with, like, new year, new me. I don't think anybody really actually does, like, truly, in the end. Maybe for, like, a week. You're, like, a new me for a week or whatever, and then, nope, just back to old me is fine. And it kind of fades away. But with this new year, I figured maybe I'm not going to jump in, like, balls deep to this new me thing, or resolutions or anything like that, because I never hold to them. But there's a couple things I've been meaning to do, and I figured with the new year here, why not, clean slate, get some positive stuff on the board before it all fills up with negative, terrible things. So yesterday I decided to make the conscious decision to go donate some blood plasma donation. And it was a fucking hell of an experience. And I figure I'll talk about it on the show today because, I don't know, I just talk about whatever I want, really. And it was interesting, so you're going to hear about it. So yeah, I decided to donate blood plasma yesterday, which I didn't really know much about beforehand, but did some research, on the Google, on the Wikipedias, everything's true on there. And I figured maybe I'll give it a shot. I was kind of apprehensive, so I showed up to a place called CSL Plasma, is the one that I have locally here. I don't know if they're a national thing or what, or like through New York, but shout out to CSL Plasma. That's where I went yesterday, and I walked in not knowing what the hell I was doing whatsoever. Like, I brought my license, my social security card, and myself, and I was like, take my blood and give me money for it, pretty much. So I walk in, and the front desk lady was actually really nice. She was probably upper 60s or so, maybe what you would consider an elderly lady, but she was very, very friendly, and I just walked right in. I said, it is my first time in any type of place like this. I'm interested in donating. What the hell do I do? And she was very welcoming with my bewilderment and confusion and guided me in the right direction into signing in or whatever the hell I had to do. She gave me like a little goodie bag. That was cool too. Like a Gatorade in it. You gotta stay hydrated when you donate blood or blood plasma, whatever. It had like a keychain, some headphones. I was like, hell yeah, like maybe I'll just leave now. I got my free bag of swag there. That would have been worth it, to be honest with you. But I was in there for probably a good 30 minutes in the waiting room after I talked to a nice front desk lady. And then it was time for like an initial kind of interview thing, I guess, with who I suppose is a doctor. I think he was a doctor. He had a white coat on. Doesn't that usually mean you're a doctor? I think. I think his name tag said like Dr. Prince something. He was probably like Nigerian if I had to guess, but he was super nice dude. So you go in for like an initial interview type thing. You sit down, you go, have you ever had, blood-borne diseases, things like that, just like general medical questions, get it out of the way. But one of the kind of general questions he had was about my tattoo. I guess you can't have a fresh tattoo within a year of donating blood plasma, which I found weird, but I let him know that mine was about 5 years old, which you could probably tell because it's faded as shit. And he, being a man from another part of the world, I think, and kind of maybe identifying with this part of the world that he lives in now, he like roasted me mercilessly for my shitty tattoo on my wrist. He was like, what's that supposed to be, my friend? And I was like, oh, it's like a bird shape, kind of. And he literally just started like gut laughing, like, what, did you do it yourself or something? I was like, no, I had somebody do it for me. Kind of a spur of the moment, as you can see. And he proceeded to give me the best, like, oh, you crazy white people kind of laugh, and it was pretty funny. I actually didn't even care that he roasted me. So he got me all set up. We went and I had to watch a video, which was, I felt like I was at like a job interview almost. It was like an orientation video, like 20 minutes long, about the whole process, what you do, what you don't do, that you want to eat before you come, donate, drink a lot of water, whatever, all this stuff, and all the risks that kind of come with it, whatever. So watched like a 20-minute video. I'm bored out of my mind. And at that point, I had probably already been there for a good hour and a half by the time the video was done. So I was kind of sort of becoming impatient a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, I thought I'd just, come in and give you my bodily fluids and you pay me. Not so. Because after that, I had to be ushered into a line with a, what do you call them, like a computer kiosk thingy there that was going to ask me another like 65 questions about my health. Lots of questions, damn. So many questions. And no, I have never traveled to Europe or lived in Eurasia in the past 12 months. God damn it. They asked me like 8 times. So I go through and I got to give my fingerprint a bunch of times. I should mention that. Lots of fingerprinting too on these machines and stuff. So I'm going through all these questions, finally get through it. And I'm like, okay, we're ready to hit the donation floor, right? Like I'm ready to give, save lives. Nope, not yet. We got to do a vitals check. So I get into another line that was pretty short, not really too long, and get my weight taken, heart rate, probably blood pressure, whatever. Just quick vitals. And I'm like, okay, it's got to be it. That wasn't it. I had to go into another line. There's like line after line at this damn place. I think it's only if you're like a first timer. So if I go again, it won't be like this. But at this point, I'm there for like probably 3 hours. By the time I get into the line after the line after the line, where they took like a blood sample, checked the plasma to see if it was like good, I guess. I don't know. He explained it to me and it was a lot of like doctor speak and I just nodded along and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And really had no clue what he was talking about. So after that, then it's finally time to get into the final line, the line after the line after the line after the line. And that was a big one. That was a big ass line to get to the donation floor. And you're kind of just like standing there like cattle, really kind of just all herded up in this line, waiting to get taken into slaughter inside this big room full of like chairs and machines and doctors wearing like fucking hockey masks pretty much. Like big plexiglass face shields, like plague doctor shit. So I'm like, damn, what is going on here? And I had to wait forever in this cattle line, probably a solid 25 to 30 minutes, just kind of standing, milling about. Finally, it's my turn to get called. It's time to donate, save lives, kick ass. And I get hooked up to this machine. It's like basically just get like an IV at the hospital or whatever, like nothing too bad or like getting blood drawn. Got to find the vein, stick you, whatever, with the hose thingy there. And then they hook it up to this machine that draws your blood out and then pumps it back in. And somewhere between that process, it separates the plasma from the blood cells and extracts that, and then it gives you the blood back or something like that. You can tell I'm very sophisticated on the operation there. But it took like probably, gosh, I don't know. It's not like getting blood drawn because I was in that chair for probably like an hour and 10 minutes having blood pumped out of my left arm, cycled back in. Like, it doesn't happen constantly. It's kind of like a slow process, but you got to squeeze on like a thing in your palm. Like, they gave me a bunch of rubber gloves or something to squeeze on. My hand was getting so fucking tired. Holy shit. Constantly squeezing. Try to get that blood pumping, get that plasma out. And then when it comes out, it's in this clear bottle that's hooked to the front of the machine. And you can actually see the plasma liquid or whatever filling up in the bottle, what they're going to take from you, your sample. And God damn it, if it doesn't look just like piss. It just looks like pee, like a urine sample, but they're taking it from your blood. And it was kind of weird to see that. And it made me have to pee, too, because I was there for like 4 goddamn hours. Never peed the whole time, and then I'm surrounded by like this fucking lab full of pee bottles, basically, even though it's not. Can't drink anything while you're on the test floor. Can't eat anything. They let me play on my phone, thank goodness. I was just like watching random YouTube videos and stuff. And yeah, after about an hour and 10 minutes of being hooked up like a fucking experiment for some aliens, they let me go. They turned me loose and gave me a prepaid debit card for $50 and said, "Thank you for helping save lives," and booted me out on my ass on the front door. And why am I telling you this story? Because it was worth it. I would recommend it. If you've never donated plasma, and if you can in your area, I would say go ahead and do it. There's really no reason not to. As long as you're healthy, obviously, you're giving a good sample there or whatever of your plasma, there's no reason not to make a little bit of extra dough and to donate something that will turn into medicine to help people to save their lives. I think it's great. Even though the first, time it took a long time. Oh my God. Felt like I was there the entire day. Full-time job over there. But I would highly recommend it. So I would like to know, would you recommend giving plasma if you've done it before yourself? Would you not recommend it? Have you done it? And what do you feel about saving lives? What do you even feel about this whole plasma thing? Because there's actually some evidence to the contrary that maybe it's not such a good thing. Maybe they're trying to take advantage of the disadvantaged in the area by giving their samples and paying low amounts. There's a lot of layers to this thing, so I want to know how you feel. Hit me up on Twitter at allwnycory. Let's talk about blood plasma and trivia and stuff. Really fun topics for discussion. If you're down with that, hit me up on Twitter at allwnycory. We'll talk about whatever you'd like. And I will see you guys next Friday at 6 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Happy New Year, everybody. Cory McKnight signing off. Take care.